Hello, you guys. Welcome and welcome back. We're going to get another love message for you guys. I hope you're doing well. Sit back, relax, get comfortable, do what you need to do, honey, so we can get this message. I hope these messages help you guys. Y'all be sure to like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe. Thank you to all my subscribers who are showing love to the channel and enjoying the messages. If you're new, we just do things raw and real over here, okay? I try to give you guys the messages as authentically as humanly possible so that we can get the right context for situations. So, if you want to stick around to check it out, be sure to do so. Let's see. Don't bring anything into your life that does not belong. Okay? And if you'd like a personal reading, the link is in the description box below for you guys to check that out. Let's see. Guardian angels, archangels, spirit guides, and ancestors of the highest vibration, Father, Mother, God, for the collective when it comes to love, romance, and relationships. It might be platonic love. It might be romantic love. What is it that the collective needs to know when it comes to love, spirit? What message do you want them to know? Wow, the lovers. There's somebody out there for you. Some of you may feel like there's no one there for you, or you don't have anyone there for you. You may be very independent, okay? And you could be realizing that you want a partner, okay? This could be a situation where you've been single for a while and you're yearning for a companion in life. It doesn't even have to be like super duper focused on romance. It could just be someone who you can talk to, someone who you can share your thoughts with, someone who you can share experiences with, go do things with. I think you guys are really wanting your other half, or you're wanting someone in your life who you can relate to and who relates to you. At the bottom, we have change your perception. Okay. Interesting, because change your perception is number 4. The lovers is 13. 1 plus 3 is 4. So 44 could be significant. That may be your age. When you were a child, possibly from the age of 4 up, or from the age of 4 and under, your perception of relationships and of romance or marriage, it was molded in a certain way that gives you very limiting beliefs to what love can be or what's possible when it comes to love. Spirit wants you to change your perception, because right now your perception of romance and relationships is limited. And you only see things one way because you've only had maybe 1 or 2 experiences. I don't know if you're young or if you just settled down really quickly. Maybe you're back on the market, or whether you just never really had like a serious relationship. That could be it. This could also be a situation where you've had relationship after relationship after relationship, and they're kind of like all the same. And it's because you were molded by your parents, or you were molded by your experiences at a young age, probably 4 years old. Something happened to you and it built an image of what relationships and love is that's not actually like complete. It's only a piece to the puzzle, or it's only one perspective. And it's like Spirit wants you to gain another perspective. They want you to see collaboration and teamwork and partnership from like a different viewpoint, okay? 18, separation. Okay. Interesting. I think some of you guys want love, but you aren't sure whether or not it's possible. That's really what this feels like. You want love, but you're not sure if it's possible. And I feel like some of you guys are trying to see the possibility of love, but you may not believe that it's something that you can have. It's just the way you look at it that I feel like Spirit is trying to get you to pay attention to. This could be what your family members told you. This could be what you saw growing up. 18 is like a 9. I feel like you're getting further and further away from outdated beliefs when it comes to your relationships. You're coming to the end of a cycle in your life, and Spirit is separating you from the things that you've kind of gotten complacent and comfortable in, and trying to expose you to a new reality. Okay, what is the message? What else for the collective, Spirit, when it comes to love? Ooh. Blow your mind. I'm doing my best to impress you. I caught it like this. Like, I caught it connected to my body. So it's kind of in reverse. Some of you guys are bored with your love life. Some of you guys feel like people are very nonchalant. They don't give a lot of effort, okay? Not the effort that you're expecting, okay? You could be separating from someone in the near future. Awkward moment. Well, that was embarrassing. I hope it didn't kill the date. Fine dining. I want to wine and dine you at a fancy restaurant. Okay. I feel like somebody was doing the most when it comes to... Ooh, excuse me. I feel like somebody was doing the most when it comes to trying to impress you. Like, they may have been overdoing it. They may have been kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to say being weird, but it feels like they may have been just extra. Somebody was being a little extra. I feel like there's a person here who wants to impress you, but you haven't met them yet. I don't know. This is weird. What it feels like to me is that you're just not, you're nonplussed about dating. You're not impressed with who may be trying to get your attention right now. You're not impressed with the options that you have. Some of you have a person who's very nonchalant and they didn't really do a lot when it comes to effort, putting in effort. And it just made the situation awkward, either because someone wasn't doing enough or they were doing too much. Okay, and you could be deciding to like cut it off because they are doing something that just makes you feel uncomfortable. Now, this also could be a situation where you may not be used to a person treating you nicely, or you may not be used to a person really like pulling out all the stops for you. Okay, you may be used to people who just don't really put in that much effort, and now that somebody's putting in effort, you could be like feeling a little weird about it, running from it. So keep that in mind. What else for the collective? Oh my God, this freaking soulmates card. Soul connection, partnership, soul contract, life partner. I feel like that's what you want. I feel like you want someone who you're very much so connected to. You want to be with a person who feels like they're a soulmate, that you guys are meant to be together. Some of you guys feel like you're basically like separated from your soulmate, or you haven't met them yet. Some of you feel like you're separated from them because you guys aren't together. Some of you guys just would like a connection to feel really strong and be meaningful, to where you're excited about being around this person, to where you feel like they blow your mind, to where you learn something new about them every day and they just treat you really nicely. And I think some of you believe that you can't have that, or there's something blocking you from having that. Okay. Keys on a ring. Many options, unconventional one night stand, string along, clock, need time, cycles in time, takes time, time to heal, progressing. Yeah. Yeah, something is definitely taking a long time. I feel like you guys are making progress when it comes to cleansing your energy, cleansing your space, being in a place where, you know, you're not rushing, you're trusting divine timing. I feel like that's what we're working on. That's what Spirit wants you to work on. They don't want you to rush. They don't want you to be like, well, when is this person coming? When is this person coming? Because that's just going to take longer. Okay? Listen, you do what you want to do. But I'm just saying. I feel like this is about your mindset. A lot of you guys have a mindset where you don't believe that what you want is possible, or you don't believe that your soulmate exists. You may not believe that you will find someone who's going to treat you the way you deserve to be treated. And that's kind of like a perception, perspective, mindset thing that I feel like Spirit wants you to update, change. It's like you do deserve what you want. You do deserve to have a person who puts in effort. You do deserve a person who's chalant instead of nonchalant. You deserve to be someone's everything. You deserve to be the focus where they're not like treating you as an option or having you in third party situations. And I think because some of you guys have experienced so much of the opposite of that, that negates that and just shows you over and over that it's not possible. It's like the more you guys have begun to believe that it's never going to happen or it doesn't exist. And I feel like Spirit is like, that's why you need to change your perception. Yeah, you feel like the love that you want is unattainable for some of you who resonate with this reading. If you don't resonate with that, then this might not be your reading. But I'm speaking to someone where Spirit is trying to get you to see that you can have what it is that you want and what you deserve. But it's like you have to remove yourself from the things that you don't want, the people who you don't want, the things you don't deserve, and the people who don't deserve you. Some of you have a person in your life who you feel like is a soulmate, but they treat you like an option. And you've been trying to give them time, but I feel like you guys are drifting further and further apart. Some of you may feel like, oh, this person just needs time. I don't know if they actually need time. I just feel like they don't put in enough effort. They're not really like trying to put in effort. And you may be waiting around for nothing. And Spirit may be showing you in so many ways in the near future that you need to separate from this person in order to get what you want. Okay? So what is the message for the collective when it comes to this reading? What is it that you want them to know, Spirit? Okay, 5 of Cups and the Hermit. So you're sticking to yourself. You're staying to yourself. Knight of Cups and the Lovers. Wow. The Hermit energy. You could be a Virgo. You could be a Gemini. You could have a Gemini coming towards you. Possibly. I almost said Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but I meant to say Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Anyway, some of you guys feel loss or sadness or regret or emptiness. You feel like you're empty inside. You feel like there's something missing in your life. And it could be that a person like a soulmate or someone who you can share your life with is what you feel like is missing. You may feel like there was a person who you did connect really well with, but it didn't work out. Some of you guys are in hermit mode. You're going within. You're trying to heal from situations that made you feel lack, situations that made you feel very low, depressed. You're thinking about all of the situations that you've been, connected to in your life, all the people you've been connected to, relationships that you've had. And I feel like you guys are kind of done feeling sorry for yourself. But at the same time, if you could go back, there may be a few things that you would do differently. And that's fine. That comes with reflection and inner searching and all of these things. I feel like you're searching for what you lost. This could even be in a past life. I don't know, but take it how it resonates. Some of you feel like you lost someone, or you feel like there's someone missing from your life that you may have had before, but you don't have now. Some of you guys have a reference point, either from a person who passed away or a person who you never really met, but you feel a connection to. Like somebody's out there for me. You know what I'm saying? There could be a person who's approaching you romantically who you're just not even paying attention to. There's definitely somebody here who I feel like you're like, yeah, okay, This could develop into something right now. They're an option, and it could develop into something, but it needs time, or it's going to take time. Some of you, it kind of feels like you're grieving, right? So even if you didn't lose a spouse or a lover, it's like whatever you've been through in life when it comes to love makes you grieve for more. I don't know how to explain this. I hope I'm explaining it correctly. But it's like going through the motions of getting to know someone, or going through the motions of, developing a connection is something that I feel like you don't want to do. Like, you don't want to meet new people right now. You may have just gotten divorced. Your spouse may have passed. You may have gone through some type of breakup, or dated a few people and it just wasn't a good fit, and you're just kind of tired. I kind of feel like you guys just want to be alone. And there could be somebody coming in and it's kind of like, yeah, okay. I don't know, they irritate you. Or they're just giving you feelings that you don't really know how to receive. Some of you stay to yourself because you've experienced a lot of loss and you don't want to put your pain on someone else. Some of you long for a person from your past because you feel like they're your soulmate. I feel like what Spirit is trying to tell you and kind of like warn you of is that there's somebody who could be coming towards you in the near future, or could have come towards you recently, that you really didn't appreciate or pay attention to, because they either were different from your past, they showed up in a way where you're not used to it, or you just didn't like take them seriously. But it's like you have the choice. They have a choice. You have a choice. What's the Five of Cups in the Hermit? Child. Feels sad. Four of Swords. Yeah. Ten of Cups. Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like you're trying to find your soulmate. You guys are trying to find your soulmate. I feel like some of you may have had dreams about the life that you want with someone. And you can see yourself with this person. You know this person exists, but you can't find them. You're searching for them. And everyone who comes towards you, it just feels like it's not that person. It feels like there's something missing. It's like you're trying to match up the people who come towards you with the person in the dream. And it's like, is it this person? Is it that person? Based on their behavior, their, expression, their love languages, whatever it is that they show you when you get to know them. You're trying to match up and see, is this the person who I saw in my dream? Is this the person who I feel spiritually connected to? Is this the person who I've been searching for? Kind of is what I'm feeling. And I just feel like you're sad because you may feel like it's not. But I think you're expecting somebody to come in and blow your mind and just do all these extravagant things. And that's how you're going to know that they're your soulmate, because you're thinking that it's going to be like this big thing. But Spirit is trying to tell you that it might not be that. And that if you don't appreciate someone's advances towards you, or you don't like pay attention or give it a fair chance, it's like you're letting your past control you. You're kind of letting your past dictate what you do. You may be missing out on something or someone that's actually there because of what you want, but you don't see it because all of that other stuff is clouding your vision. But at the same time, too, I feel like you guys desire for a peaceful connection that's secure, stable, reliable, somebody dependable. And people who I feel like are approaching you, as you get to know them, you're like basically not getting that vibe from those people, okay? So it's like you're still in this state of like searching. I feel like Spirit really wants you to heal yourself from within, from the inside out, instead of the other way around. Like, external things are not going to help you feel fulfilled. You're going to have to heal this from the inside out. What is it that the collective doesn't see coming when it comes to love? Ace of Swords. Some type of clarity and epiphany. You're going to see the truth, know the truth. I also feel like you're going to be faced with some type of sacrifice if you want something. Okay? The King of Wands and the Two of Swords. Yeah, it's like there's a person, possibly a Leo, maybe an Aries or a Sagittarius. This King of Wands energy is, you don't see this person coming, and they're going to be telling you the truth, but you're not going to want to hear it because it hurts. The truth hurts with whoever this is. Page of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. So this feels like a new person. With fire sign energy, but they may be air sign as well. They may have air in their chart. The Fool, Page of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, and the Eight of Cups. So yeah. So you guys, yeah, the Sun. Some of you guys may be falling for someone. It's like all of a sudden this person comes into your life. This new person. It's like maybe they're a Leo, a Scorpio, an Aquarius. But you're feeling confident, you're looking good. And then it's like, you know, you're going to have to make a decision. The Tower and then the Fool. It's like you're taking a leap of faith on something or someone, and you're falling, releasing control. You could be falling in love for some of you guys, but this could be like you giving someone a chance because they kind of like show up. But you have to like go into it positively because the Sun is here and then the Sun is here on the Eight of Cups. Like as you leave behind things and release things that no longer serve you, whether it's your expectations of who people should be, what they should do in your life, or whether it's like what you believe love should be, your past, like as you release these expectations and you move forward towards a stable foundation for yourself, you're going to release control. And then you're going to see signs that that's the right decision or that you're going in the right direction. It's like a more positive state of mind. Brings in more potential for what it is that you're wanting. And it's not like the fairy tale that everyone tries to sell you on this platform. It's literally like that's what's going to happen. And you're going to come across on your journey as you're walking this King of Wands energy who's going to be very honest with you. They're going to tell you the truth. They're going to spark your creativity and your thoughts but I feel like they're going to say things possibly in a very blunt way or a straightforward way that you kind of like don't want to hear. This could also be a situation where this person is, it's like they're not meant to be in your life long term. They're meant to be someone who you share a particular amount of time with. And you may not want to accept that. That could be when it comes to a person who you've been with in the past or someone who's coming into your life in the near future. I feel like a lot of you guys believe that your soulmate is going to be a certain way or that having a soulmate connection is what you want. But like, it's not going to look the way you think it looks. That's why Spirit wants you to change your perception and separate yourself from the expectation of what you think love should look like. Because they want you to see the reality. They want to show you the reality of what it is. It doesn't have to look a specific way. But it's like, I feel like you guys have been kind of like brainwashed into thinking that love is supposed to look a certain way. And it may not actually look like that. That's why I'm not going to sugarcoat it and tell you guys a lie. I don't know if you're going to fall in love with this person. I feel like there's the opportunity or potential in a new connection or in new connections, but that potential only exists if you allow it to flow naturally. Because I believe somebody, Lord, I'm channeling. I feel like you guys believe that somebody is going to just come in and sweep you off your feet and just be this knight in shining armor. And it's like, Spirit is trying to tell you, like, no, you know what I mean? The ghosts of your past are haunting you. And you may feel like someone isn't giving effort because maybe you dealt with a lot of love bombers. Maybe you dealt with a lot of people who were narcissistic in nature. Or were they? You get what I'm saying? It's like Spirit wants you to evaluate your perception of your exes, your perception of their behavior, your perception of your relationships in the past. Because some of you guys are looking at your relationships that didn't work out and feeling like those people are abusive and toxic and they're predators and things like that. But really, it's because the way you see love is obtuse. Like the way you see love is not realistic. The way you see love is like a Disney movie and a fairy tale, and that's not what it is. It's great to dream about that stuff, but that's not the reality. Because I feel like right now you guys are tired of being alone, or you're tired of not having anyone to talk to. You're tired of like kind of feeling lonely, and you can tell me that that's not how you feel. Cool. This may not be your reading. You don't have to petition for your case that you're good on your own forever and ever. But that's what this is. It's like Spirit is trying to get you to see that like this reflection that you're having is because you're starting to realize the reality of what a soulmate means. I feel like this fire sign told you the truth, but you feel like they lied. You have a difference of opinion of what happened. You have a difference of opinion. You have a difference of opinion maybe with what I'm saying, and that's fine. You see it differently. Your experience and your vantage point, your perception was different from someone when it comes to like what you're dealing with love. And maybe you see it differently. Maybe you're valid. I can't say yay or nay to either. But it kind of feels like someone told you the truth and you didn't want to hear it. You didn't want to see it. You wanted to ignore it. And you didn't want to accept whatever something was for what it was. Because you were upset that it wasn't what you wanted it to be. But maybe it wasn't meant to be what you wanted it to be. And you were mad that it wasn't what you wanted it to be. But sometimes soulmates are just people who are meant to be in our life for a season. And I feel like you wanted someone to be in your life forever, or you saw like these visions of this long-term connection with this person, but that just wasn't the reality of what it was going to be or what it was meant to be. I feel like you know, because of what you observe, either through other people's relationships or through media, you know that it's possible to have what it is that you want. And I feel like you're getting clear on what you really want. But I also feel like Spirit wants you to have a wider scope of perspective so that you won't go into situations with people with unrealistic expectations and then like set yourself up for disappointment. Because the more you blame or try to say that it was another person's fault that something didn't work out, the more you stay in a victim mentality, which continues to attract predators, quote unquote, into your life. So, I mean, you can do that if you want to, but it's not going to give you what you want. And I feel like what you want is a partner. And what you want is a companion and someone who you can trust. And the more you're able to see it from another person's perspective or have a bird's eye view, a higher vantage point, the more easily you can navigate your path in the direction of getting what it is that you want and moving further away from what you don't want. And like the truth is, even if this person may have told you the truth, or if this person coming into your life is very honest with you, it just may be a difference of opinion. You guys just may not see eye to eye. You may not see love, relationships, or life the same way. And that's okay. You know? But I feel like what you don't expect is that you're basically going to meet someone new who's going to challenge your perception of relationships and love. And their presence in your life is meant for you to see it differently. And you're going to fight against that, which is going to bring you further and further away from what you want and create more tension. If you keep that rigid, stubborn mentality, if you don't open your mind. And I'm not saying somebody should mistreat you or misuse you. You know that's not what the fuck I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if you don't open your mind to widen your perception, then you're going to keep hitting the same brick wall. Because you're going to limit yourself to what's possible. But that's your choice. What's the advice? Six of Pentacles and the Three of Cups. Yeah. It feels like somebody may come towards you with a gift. This could be a friend. It could be a platonic friend. This could be somebody who wants to date you. Somebody who may want to reconcile with you. There needs to be equal give and take. There needs to be balance. The infinity symbol is here with the Six of Pentacles. That could be Libra, maybe Taurus. June could be someone's birthday. So they could be a Gemini or a Cancer. I'm getting like, okay, so Cancer, Taurus, Libra, Gemini. When it comes to the advice. These could be people. Community is a gift. Love is a gift. Fellowship is a gift. And you not only give that, but you can receive it. So if you feel like you don't receive it, then you need to evaluate who you're giving it to. And whether or not you're giving it at all. There could be a party that you're invited to in the near future as well. Yeah, Eight of Swords. King of Wands. Yeah, I feel like you're worried about this person. I feel like somebody's going to apologize to you after a long time, or they're going to give you a gift. I almost heard consolation prize. But this feels like a situation where you're not talking to someone. You're staying to yourself. You're grieving. There could have been a loss or a death or someone who passed away. I feel like their spirit is around you. But I really feel like spirit, God, source, whoever you pray to, they're trying to get you to change your expectation in relationships of what it's going to look like, what people are going to give to you, how long it's going to take, like all of the things that you expect to receive or you feel like you should receive. I'm not saying you should change like your boundaries, but listen, if you understand, you understand. I feel like you guys are anxious or worried about giving to people because of this King of Wands and what they did to you, which they may very well have. But I also feel like whatever they did to you also was amplified by your perception of what love should be. And I think you may have put too many expectations on this person that they never said that they were going to fill. Or they never knew that you expected them to fill these expectations. Maybe you didn't communicate it. Maybe they didn't know. Maybe they told you when you did communicate it that they could not do that. Everybody's not a narcissist. Everybody is not a fucking sociopath, psychopath. Sometimes you just have expectations of people that are too high. And that's something that you have to evaluate. And once you do, and you take accountability and you accept that, then you can move closer to what you want. Because when people show up in your life and they don't meet your expectations, you won't hold a grudge. You won't hold it against them. You won't beat yourself up as if you're not good enough. You'll know the reality, which is, hey, they don't meet my expectations. And that's okay. Because then maybe that means they're not meant to be in my life. And that's one step closer to me finding who is supposed to be in my life. That's one step closer to me finding the person who I know is out there for me. And wherever this person ends up, if it's not with me, I hope they're happy. But I'm going to be happy as well. You know? And I'm not trying to beat you guys up, but, you know, if you feel triggered, it's because there's something I'm saying that Spirit wants you to hear. Eight of Wands, communication. Yeah, so right now you're not talking to someone and you wish you could. Maybe they're passed on and you can't talk to them. Or maybe this person isn't talking to you or you don't want to talk to them or something's going on where there's no communication. I feel like in the near future, they could reach out and want to, I don't want to say reconcile because everybody thinks reconciling means getting back together. Reconciling, that's not necessarily what that means. When you reconcile your bank account, you balance your checkbook, you basically make an accounting of what went out and what goes in and where your balance is at the end. So when I say reconcile, that's what I mean. Queen of Wands and the Hangman. Okay. I feel like someone is attracted to you and they want to communicate with you, but they feel like you have a wall up with them. And that's clear with the Hermit and the Four of Swords, just being real. I feel like you guys have a wall up or you set a boundary with them. And I feel like that's why the situation isn't moving forward. It's stuck. I feel like you want it to move forward and also they do too, but it's stuck because there's been a headbutting situation Somebody could be a Taurus. But there's been this impasse that you guys can't really get past right now. But I feel like Spirit is trying to get you to change your perspective and your perception of the situation. Because if you love someone and they did not harm you physically or do something heinous towards you that puts your life at risk, I feel like Spirit is trying to get you to see what they say to you and how they communicate with you from a different perspective and step into it from a place of having an open heart. Because if both of you love each other, King of Wands, Queen of Wands, and the situation is stuck or you can't get past something, bringing love into the situation, bringing understanding, bringing equal give and take and balance will help solve this. And I feel like the things that you're worried about when it comes to this person, or the things that you think about that kind of make you nervous or feel insecure, are things that aren't really real. They're kind of like ghosts or mutations of relationships that you saw growing up, relationships that you've been in the past, things that you've seen in the media. And it's not actually real life. I feel like this person is going to come towards you and give you like this spark of inspiration. Like they're going to give you something or present something to you that will be something that you need to contemplate, right? It's kind of like somebody talking to you and saying, well, isn't it true or possible that XYZ could happen? You know, like, and then the gears start to turn in your mind. That's what I feel with this Ace of Swords. And it's like, you don't want to believe that it's true, but it's like, you know that it could be true. You just, I don't know. Listen, this could be what you're doing to someone with someone else. This could be what's going on with someone's mind while you're not there, which could be prompting them to want to come forward, reach out, communicate, and reconcile your differences. Because that's what this feels like. They want to reconcile differences with you and come to some type of like resolution. They want to balance the checkbook of this connection. And I feel like it's because they do love you, they care for you, but they're a little awkward. And if this is somebody new coming into your life, it's like they're attracted to you. They want to get to know you, but they may feel like you have a wall up, and then they may be awkward on top of it. So it's like, okay, you know what I mean? But I also feel like this person needs to realize that they can't just take forever. Like they can't take you for granted. They can't just assume that because they feel the way they feel that you have to agree either. So again, that's where the Six of Pentacles comes in. It's a give and take. Some of you guys want this person to reach out and you're waiting for this person to reach out and you're worried that they're giving their energy to someone else and that's why they're not reaching out. But I don't think that's the case. I mean, if they are, you know, like, what can you really do about it? Go live your life. I'm so big on that, you guys. I'm so big on decentering, like, obsessive thoughts from your life. I'm big on decentering whatever takes up the majority of your mental space and capacity that you can't control. I'm really big on that. And I'm never going to blow smoke up your ass. But I feel like your advice is to be confident in your communication, but to try to look at it from a different perspective. Because I feel like whoever this person is wants to make peace with you, but they themselves are nervous. You might be picking up on it empathically. And then that's why you guys butt heads. But ultimately, their goal is to settle these differences and come to a positive place with you where it's balanced. So even if this is a person who it didn't work out with romantically, they want to be your friend. They still want to be in your life. And it's like the way that you see them, it's kind of giving me the vibe that Spirit wants you to see that they're not this evil person that you have kind of like made them out to be. And I know that may challenge your ego, but that needs to happen so that you can actually be fulfilled in your life and have the human connections that you deserve. Because even when you connect with me or other readers or online influencers, and you have that independence that I feel like you guys do have, you're always going to miss something. You're always going to have a hole in yourself. There's always going to be a longing that you feel because you're missing that human connection. And I think a lot of us all need to realize that and stop taking these authentic, raw human connections for granted. Because the way the AI is going, bitch, it just really feels like we've lost the plot. And if you need time to think about what this person is saying to you, evaluate it, consider it, do that. But I just feel like this person is aware of the investment that you've made in the connection, and I feel like they want to acknowledge that. And they also want to protect the investment that they've made into the connection. They don't want to just throw it away. And I feel like some of you guys, especially if you cut this person off really quick or whatever the situation is, they feel like you don't value the connection because you're so quick to throw it away. And I mean, I can't help but to feel that they need to have some accountability for that, because I don't think you did that for no reason. I don't think you're the type of person who doesn't value connections. I think there was something that caused you to feel like you had to throw it away. But it's like, do you really want that? And if the answer is no, then what compromises can be made? And if you don't want to make compromises, then shut the fuck up complaining, okay? Habits, repeat the same mistakes, hanging on for no reason, hard to give them up, see? And you don't want to, that's what it is. You don't want to repeat a mistake with this person. You don't want to make another mistake, even if it's a new person. And it's like you're trying to separate yourself from old habits that have caused delays in your life. So I get where you're coming from. But I also feel like it is hard for you to separate your feelings from this person because they have made an impact on your life. Maybe they just want to be friends and you may not be able to see them as just a friend. Maybe you want to just be friends, but they can't see you as just a friend. It's like there's some type of like cord, okay? But when I was talking about how they had to do something to cause you to cut them off like this, I know they did something and they need to take accountability for that. And whatever they did triggered this card to come out. So I feel like they triggered you and made you feel like you were repeating cycles and habits over and over again that you're trying to break out of and heal from. So they made you feel like you were holding on to them or valuing them for no reason. That you were holding on to hope that you guys would be together for no reason. And I think that's what they need to acknowledge and take accountability for. Distance, emotionally unavailable, stand back from things, getting a new perspective. Yeah. Oop, sexual intercourse. So some of you guys jumped into a sexual connection with this person really quickly. Or the sexual connection was easier to build, but the personal connection was a little bit harder. This could have been in the past when it comes to other relationships, to where whoever this new person is that stimulates you intellectually, because you could be a sapiosexual, take it how it resonates, but there could be a new person coming in that stimulates you mentally, but it also arouses you sexually. And you know that you don't want to repeat the same habit of like being mentally stimulated and then jumping into that physical connection before you get to know someone. What else does the collective need to know? In love reverse. Yeah. I feel like some of you guys are aware that you can fall in love with people who don't love you the same, or you can be in love with a person who doesn't see love in the same way you do. I feel like you guys are aware of the fact that sometimes you overgive, the fact that sometimes you get too attached, the fact that your feelings may not mirror another person's feelings. Okay? Party. Relieved to be single. Live it up while you can. Go meet new people. Yeah. And renewed. Releasing a heavy burden. Feeling sexy and alive. Enduring despite hardship. Queen of Wands. I feel like you guys are confident. You say it with your chest. And I feel like you realize a lot of the ways that social media, communities, club culture, whatever it is that you've experienced, you are starting to realize the effect that it's had on your mind and your brain and the way you think. Always worrying about what other people think of you, or always thinking about what other people are thinking about. Like, it's just a lot. Ooh, excuse me. But I feel like you guys have taken a break, or you need a break. Like, if you just went through a breakup with someone, it's like you could have them coming towards you wanting to be friends right away. And it's like, I can't be friends with you after we just broke up. That's crazy. Because then we're going to fall into the same habits that I feel like you guys are trying to break. And you want to have time to refresh your energy. So if they're like pressuring you to like stay friends, I would be cautious of that, because I feel like they may still want to keep the sexual connection going, and that could be a drain on your energy. Because I feel like you're tired or you're exhausted from something that you've just gone through that was really difficult. It's like you're not in the mood for love, because you want to make sure you want to make sure you're not going to make the same mistakes again or repeat the same habits again that put you in this place of feeling like you were exhausted and needing to heal. So even when I get on y'all about things or point out the truth, don't take it personally, because I totally get where you're coming from. It's just we have to look at all aspects to understand really what the reading is telling us. One more card. Feeling defeated. Yeah, some of you guys definitely. You don't want love because you feel like love has not loved you back. That's pretty much what I see. Beacon. Seeing a ray of hope, a way out of the situation, able to stand your ground. And then we have child support. Wow, okay. Yeah, you may feel like you're owed with the Six of Pentacles as well. You're going to get some type of positive communication coming in of something being reconciled. And it's crazy I said checkbook. So some of you guys could receive a bonus payment that you didn't know you were going to get. Your check could be bigger than what you thought it was going to be based on the hours that you've worked. You may think you're going to get a certain amount, but you end up getting more. Or some of you may have a big child support check that comes through. Some of you guys, it feels like something that you feel owed that you haven't received is why you're not in the mood for like love. Or it's why your heart is kind of cold. Because with all this blue energy here, blue, green, teal, and with the heart here on the Four of Swords, it's like, it kind of feels like your heart is cold. And you don't want to understand where people are coming from. You don't want to hear anybody's point of view. You don't give a fuck what anybody has to say. Because at the end of the day, like, you know what your experience is and you're tired of that shit. So I get it. I can feel the visceral emotion that's coming from you. And I understand why you feel like that. That's some real ass shit. However, also, when you're cold, it cuts you off from being able to receive. It keeps you in that hangman energy, which ultimately creates stagnancy. And it prevents you from allowing spirit to find avenues at which they can deliver the justice that you so desperately desire, deserve, and I have been waiting for. So, you know, you do what you want to do, but I'm just speaking facts. I'm just trying to give y'all the game because that's what it is. And it's like, there are ways that all of us have to realize this. What's habits in love reversed and feeling defeated? Yeah, Hangman and the Five of Pentacles. See what I'm saying? This was what was at the back of the deck with this Eight of Wands. So I think some of you guys are even scared to date because you feel like when you give, you end up getting the person who doesn't want to give you anything back. Okay? But these are your insecurities talking. This is your lack mindset talking. And that's not necessarily always a true representation of reality. Two of Wands and the Lovers. Wow. A big choice. It's like you made a decision to close the door on love, but not really. You don't want to. That's not authentic to what you truly feel. You just feel like that's what you have to do. It's like you're tired of waiting for love. You're closing the door on it. And you don't want to, but it's like, damn. I also don't want to fucking be trampled on and get hurt. What's the Five of Pentacles and the Hangman? The Devil. Yeah. You're trying to basically suffocate or starve a toxic connection out. You know, you're not going to give it any food or water, proverbially, metaphorically. You're not going to give this tapeworm any more food or water. Make sure you eat. Go to the doctor if you need to, because that was weird. You may decide to be celibate. You're waiting or you're being abstinent. Two of Swords and the Ten of Swords. Yeah, but what you don't see is like your mind. In your mind, you think you're this Two of Swords and these birds are like pulling at you. These strings, you're tied up. But in reality, you're the Ten of Swords. You've already come out of that negative period. You've already detached or cut off the devil, whatever was toxic, the negative influences, the bad habits. You've already outgrown it in some way. Or you've already moved past it, healed from it. It's like you feel like you still have to heal, but I don't think you still have to heal. It kind of feels like you're punishing yourself. And it's like whatever devil that you feel like is still there, or whatever you feel like is, whatever this is for you, this devil card, you think it's still there, but it's an illusion. It's not real. Things that you're worried about happening, I don't think they're actually going to happen. And I feel like Spirit really wants you to move forward and see that whatever you feel like you're missing, first of all, you're not really missing anything. So this could be a situation where maybe you feel like you're missing out in some way in life. possibly because of financial issues. I'm picking up on different things. Like, you could feel like you're missing out on life right now because you're broke. You can't really do much. But you're actually not missing out on that because everybody's kind of like broke and can't really do much. But there's this influence that makes you think that you are missing out on something. Or like if you're single and you feel like you're missing out on relationship or connection, it's like you're not the only one. Whatever this is that you're going through that you feel like you're experiencing and it feels very lonely, you're not actually the only one going through that. Everybody's going through that. And it's like there's this temptation for you to ignore what Spirit is trying to tell you to make you feel like you're by yourself. Like, I don't know if this is an entity, a negative spirit or whatever that's lurking around everybody, but it feels like it wants you to think that you're by yourself and think that you're the only one and put you in a headspace where you're insecure so that you isolate yourself so that nobody comes together as a community. That's like the vibe of what's going on right now with the programming. But in reality, Spirit is saying, look at it from a different perspective, because this type of lurking energy has come around before to separate people and disrupt human nature in order to prevent community from existing. And it's like God, Source, Spirit doesn't want us all to make the same mistake again. And I feel like opening up your heart and changing your perception of what's possible and what the reality is can help prevent this force from winning or from, separating us. It's weird. It's very philosophical, this reading. It feels very philosophical. And I feel like what you don't see is that whatever these bad habits are, whatever this temptation is, it's not going to affect you when you step out into the world, because you have learned, you've grown, you've healed. And I don't think that you're going to make the same quote unquote mistakes again. Whatever mistake that you want to prevent yourself from making, I don't think you're going to make that mistake again. It just doesn't give me the vibe that that's what you're going to do. So, all the things I said in this reading, I don't know what to name this reading. I do feel like somebody wants to reach out, though, and kind of like make peace with you. Or something could be coming towards you very quickly. Communication, messages, emails, phone call could be coming towards you really quickly that allows you to kind of see your life from a different perspective and realize that you were worrying about something for nothing, or you were stressed out about something that you really weren't supposed to be stressed out about. What's the advice? Amber. Healing. The wound is the place where the light enters you. Yeah, and we saw the Sun card with the Fool earlier and the Tower and the Queen of Wands, which we saw with the Eight of Wands. So it's like, the more you let the light in to heal what's been broken, the more free you're going to feel. Okay? At the bottom, lapis lazuli, open. Period. The only way to find true happiness is to risk being completely cut open. Yeah. It's like, if you risk being open, you could get cut, which can create a wound. But if you decide to open up and let the light in to heal those wounds, it's like the problem fixes itself. Fluorite, victory. I came, I saw, I conquered. That's at the end of the day, what it's about. It's about you showing up not only for yourself, but as much as you possibly can for people in your community, relationships in your life, people who you love and care about. It's about you showing up. It's about you experiencing things. You saw things and you overcame whatever tries to stop you from doing that. I came, I saw, I conquered. And in order to show up, not only for other people, but most importantly for yourself, you have to be open to possibilities that may not be in the traditional scope of your vision. And I think that that's what Spirit is trying to get you to do. But I said enough. Y'all like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe. If this reading helped you, we have a Venmo now. So if you want to donate or contribute, that would really help the channel right now, you guys. Every little bit helps. I promise you. And now you can use Venmo, or you can use PayPal or Zelle as well. Those options are still available. And if you want to book a personal reading, the link is below, you guys. Get in the comments. Let me know if it resonated. I hope this helped. And that's it. That's all. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.